Ronaldo fans, a few days ago, I went deep into enemy territory and I did a IRL Pessi hate watch. And I'm here to report to you guys that I fear the delusion levels, the glaze levels in the Pessi fan base has reached an all-time high. Dangerous levels. But before I get to that, let me explain to you how I started to get kind of scared as I walked into the Inter Miami Stadium. So this past Saturday, Messi was set to play the final of the Eastern Conference against New York City. And this Saturday morning, when I woke up, it dawned on me, hold up, I live in the Orlando area. I'm only like a 3.5 hour drive to this Messi game to watch a top 5, possibly top 3 player of all time play this big, important match. Why? Why would I not go and watch this match? And that's exactly what I went on to do. I set out on a 3.5 hour drive for a Pessi IRL hate watch. And as I arrived to the Inter Miami Stadium, I realized Pessi and his goons are scamming people for parking, because the parking at the Inter Miami Stadium is $61, and I'm not doing that. There's no chance of me doing that. So I'm looking at the parking garages around the stadium, and they all look shady. They all do not look trustworthy. I would not want to leave my car there. And guess what? The worst part is they're charging $40 for a shady parking garage. So I said, fuck that. I'm going to park my car at the nearest Wawa, and I'm going to walk, and I'm going to hope for the best. And I go to the game. I start walking to the game after parking my car at a Wawa. And I'm not going to lie, throughout the entire game, I was on edge that when I came back, my car wasn't going to be there. My car was going to be towed. Anyways, after a 20-minute walk from Wawa, I make it to the Inter Miami Stadium. And this is when I start to get scared. Because when I enter the Inter Miami Stadium, I ask the worker, the nearest worker, for help to point me to where my seat is, what direction I should go to. And this guy immediately recognizes me. Now, guys, I understand that I am no celebrity. I am on no cocky shit here, okay? But I do remember when I went to the Real Madrid versus PSG match in the Club World Cup in New Jersey this past summer. I remember a lot of people recognizing who I was, bro. People coming down their seats, going up their seats. When I went to the bathroom, I remember two kids running at me to take a picture. I remember outside the stadium, like, bro, I was literally, I was feeling like a celebrity. That was actually insane. But here's the thing. These people were Real Madrid fans. They were all friendly. They were all nice because they know I'm a Real Madrid fan. They know I'm a Ronaldo fan. Now, because this Inter Miami worker immediately realized who I was, recognized who I was, I mean, he was very friendly. Nothing wrong with this guy. But because that happened, I began to get scared because I started thinking, what if a similar situation happens with that Real Madrid game? What if it happens here? But because everyone's a Messi fan, what if they, what if they gang up on me, bro? What if something breaks out here because I'm by myself? None of my friends wanted to spend the money or couldn't spend the money, didn't want to make the drive, so I went by myself. This situation could end bad. So I immediately put on my hoodie and I tied the hoodie and I walk to my seat and I sit down like a good boy in silence for the entire 90 minutes. Obviously, I don't celebrate any of the Inter Miami goals, but I also don't celebrate when New York City score. I just stay silent the entire match. Now, guys, I'm not going to lie. The environment here for a Major League Soccer match was insane. Bro, the whole stadium was singing, Messi, Messi. After he did a side pass, all it took was for him to do a side pass, and the whole stadium lost their mind. They were basically praising this man as if he was a divine being. It was genuinely annoying, bro. It was genuinely annoying. I would imagine if you were a Pessi fan, you would have really enjoyed the atmosphere here. I'm not going to lie. Now, while the game was 2-1 for Inter Miami, New York City had a counterattack from right here in the second half. The New York City midfielder, tried to put on his winger. The winger was through on goal. Guess what? The referee was standing kind of in front of the midfielder, and the ball hits off the referee. The referee kills the counterattack. He killed the counterattack. I mean, bro, I'm not making this up. I watched it happen in real life. And it wasn't just that moment. Guys, the referee acts exactly how you think he acts. He behaves. He listens to Messi. If Messi gets mad, it's a foul. If Messi gets mad, it's a yellow card. If Messi gets mad, stop the game. Stop the game. That's exactly how it works. And as most of you already know, unfortunately, Inter Miami goes on to win this game 5-1. But for most of the game, it was 2-1 Inter Miami. So it felt like New York City could have done something. In fact, they missed a really good opportunity when it was 2-1. But unfortunately, Pessi and his goons and the referee were too strong for New York City. And now that Messi has won the Eastern Conference for the first time, which, by the way, FIFA does not consider as a real trophy, they will now play the final of Major League Soccer, I believe, against Vancouver in a couple days, in like a week. And you already know I'm going to do my absolute best to be there, to do a IRL hate watch, a generational hate watch, because I believe in the end, Messi will choke. I believe Pessi will choke. Oh, and by the way, as I was walking back to Wawa to see if my car is still there, I see a Lambo truck get towed because this guy parked in an area that he wasn't supposed to park. Like, how do you, bro, how can you afford a Lambo truck, but you can't afford parking? That don't make sense. But then I get to the Wawa, and thankfully, my car is there, bro. And I set back on my 3.5 hour drive back home, and I make it home at 12:30 a.m., bro. Almost, I think, 7 hours of a drive and $150 to watch. Oh, plus the gas, close to $200, bro, to watch Pessi win the Eastern Conference, a fake trophy that FIFA doesn't recognize. Guys, if you like football videos and football stories like this one, please do me a solid. Hit the plus, hit the follow. Thank you.